And we're back. I started talking, I got in 10 minutes, so I thought I'd break it up and do a second part. I'm not good at editing, I'm an old man, so don't ask me how to do those fancy things. That's life, kid. Could you elaborate on why Wisconsin is superior to Ohio? 2 words. Cheese curds. I tell you, people, you don't know life until you've had a fresh cheese curd straight from the cheese factory. I go to this Amish, it's not really Amish, it's a Amish in the sense that they sell their milk to this cheese factory run by what they would call the English, you and I. Fresh cheese curds, you eat them warm and they squeak. You know, they're rubbery. They squeak in your teeth. It's just, it's the best thing ever. And plus, knowing I'm eating real Amish milk, it's just the best. I love having all these cheese factories near me. The only thing I don't like is being woken up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to the sounds of horses. Okay, Lua, stop playing with the cord. I don't like the Amish horses waking me up in the morning. pt.2 asks, are you superstitious? I don't think superstitious is the word for it. It's more of the OCD. And I didn't really realize that until I was putting on deodorant. And I'm sitting there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then another arm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was counting out loud how many times I was applying the deodorant. Yeah, that was pretty bad. But superstitious, no. I actually watched a person the other day walking down the street. They were avoiding stepping on cracks, and it was pretty wild. But superstitious, no. Black cats could walk in front of me and I probably wouldn't care. Unless, you know, it was coming at me to attack me, because we have had reports of Black Panthers, not the militant group, but actual animals, Black Panthers in this area, which is weird for, you know, the north. You'd think that's something south. But they've seen them actually in town, so they've seen bears in my town, and beets, and Battlestar Galactica. The K is silent asks, could you fall in love with a woman who doesn't like beer, cheese, or cats? Yeah, I could. But as you can see, it would take one strong woman to fall in love with me. If not, would you sleep with her anyway? I am a man, I have a pulse, so yes. I'm sorry, I'm honest, but yeah, it's the way men are. Spinner Mom asks, how much time do you spend every day compiling this blog? See, that's a hard question, because right now I'm playing solitaire, because my ADD is acting up, and now I'm checking Facebook. Now back to the question page. I can't put a time on it, but like something when I was doing the celebrity roundup, I probably was putting in maybe an hour to 2 hours a week, depending on, you know, how much news there was for the week. But anyway, so it depends on the post. Like those the link posts I do, most all those links I've had for such a long time. And you are going to be held again. I had the links for such a long time. Actually, some, when I went to post them, they've come back as, you know, dead because the site no longer exists. Do you sleep? Yes and no. I usually average about 3 to 4 hours a night. I try to get 3 because there's some sort of rhythm. I can't remember the name of it, but the rhythm, if it's, you break up your sleep into 3-hour increments. If you sleep in a multiple of 3, like 3 hours, 6 hours, or 9 hours, you're not going to be tired. Or I think it could be in 1.5-hour increments too. And how's the cat? Well, here she is. She's fussy right now, but you can see her fur is growing back, and she doesn't like being held, but she's got to because she's chewing on cords. This is a Xanga name I've had trouble pronouncing. I always want to say chest Vatelka, but it could be Czech, so it would be Kest Ovatelo. Yeah, I think you know who you are. Do you have a favorite written article, sermon, letter, etc. of Martin Luther? Two of my favorite books by Luther are his Easter book and his German book, or his Christmas book. It's a compilation of things he wrote about Easter and a compilation of things he wrote about Christmas. If you can find them, I think I've shared the link before, but they're excellent reads. Also, another one of my favorite things he ever wrote was to his son while Luther was out settling some dispute or something. One of his sons took ill, and he wrote to him about this man who was tending a garden, and this man made this wonderful garden for children, and it was really touching. You know, this father that is writing a letter to his son, that the father is thinking the son may die, and he's trying to prepare him for his eternal life in heaven. It was really touching. Have you ever tried Katie Luther's beer recipe? Same Kesto Vatelka. I think I got it. No, I haven't tried the beer recipe. I'd be interested if you would share this recipe. You seem to only like dogs. Why the hate on dogs? Okay, you probably can't see this that well, but when I was a junior in high school, I lived on a horse farm, and this guy I lived with, the father, he was what they called, or sort of like what they call those horse whisperers. He took me. I had to drive him because he couldn't see that well at night, and these people wanted him to come over to look at their horse. And these people had a golden retriever, and the golden retriever, I stuck my hand out to let it sniff me to get to know me. and it let me pet it. It was all happy and friendly. Then about 10 minutes later, it came up to me again. I stuck my hand out to let him sniff me, and then he took his mouth and gripped on right about in here, and then he tore on my finger all the way up. If you ever see me in person, you can see the scar better. It was fun going into my German class the next day and going to my teacher, hey, look at this, I got bit by a dog last night. But ever since then, not fond of dogs except ones I own. I also had a Rottweiler, and she was stolen, and I won't get into that because people might deem my thoughts racist. She also asked, how many U.S. states have you been in? A lot. I'd say I've been in the continental 48, all of them. I know I haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii, so I'm pretty sure I've been to every other. What would you do for a Klondike bar? I was just thinking of that tonight, actually. But right now, I'd probably wait until somebody comes to my house and walks by my freezer, and I'd say, hey, can you grab me a Klondike bar? That's about all I'd do. Okay, end of part 2.